Can I get level one time? Shame the devil with a rhyme. Pull up a chair and get cool. It go lottie-dottie, Black Panther party. One love to Huey, shout out to Bobby. I follow God's law, don't follow nobody. Will I die one day?
So yeah, hi.
Hey.
We're excited to have you here. So first of all, you're beautiful.
Thank you.
And we love you, and thank you for being here. You have this great new record. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Tell us about it.
So, my record is called r3volt, and it's my third hip-hop record, you know, and I'm really excited to be releasing this record. It's crazy because my first album years ago, Spread the Word, had all this independent success, and was filled with a very much socially charged, you know, energy. The next record that I made, Prince Cometh, had the same thing, but also as I was getting older, I found myself in a creative space and also expressing a lot of my personal feelings and things that were going on in my life personally, you know. So, which was great, you know. And then our next record did even better, but I don't think that it moved people as much as the first one, even though so many people loved it and it did well. And this time, you know, I found myself, you know, I started making music in my teens and early 20s, and then, you know, you get into your mid-20s and your late 20s, and life becomes very real, you know, and it comes at you in a deeper way. And I found myself in the fog of my own life, my own self-reflection, and wanting to grow and be a better person and be a full person. And as I was in the blur of that, I started just looking at the world really the same way I was when I was younger, you know, and needing to feel like I wanted to speak about the times, and I found myself writing the same type of socially charged energy as my early work. And I also feel like I was, you know, one thing that went on with me that I think is a little unique is that, you know, I put out music, and then, you know, I wrote a book, and then, you know, I started doing theater, you know, and all these things, but I'm an MC, you know, and so I'm really grateful and humbled by all the success that I've had in other arenas, but it's been great to come back around and put out a record that I feel like people are gonna really enjoy and appreciate it. I'm not worried about that part at all, you know.
Mm-hmm. So what are your feelings about the current music landscape, and where do you feel like you fit in all of it?
I think that one thing is that it's changed and evolved so much. You know, one thing is when we start putting this record out, we're thinking about like, all right, well, do we press up CDs? You know, and now, you know, the laptops that they're making don't even have CD drives on the side of them. You know, and so the one thing that happens when the market changes, one thing that changes is that it forces the artist just to do it for the art, you know, and that's the best music ecosystem to be in. So I think the musical landscape is great. I think particularly the last year we had really great year in music, and I think that, you know, I'm really feeling vibrant and positive about the landscape. For me personally, how I feel like I fit into it is I've always been and wanted to be an artist of the time. And by that I mean I always want to be speaking to and talking about the things that are going on that matter, and the things that are on the mind and psyches of other people. So I hope that I fit in as a relevant voice of the time, and I'm saying what's necessary right now. Mm-hmm. It's interesting, right? Like, you know, for years, you know, it's like the house is on fire, and everybody is making music about a party, you know, which is cool, but nobody was doing music about the need for water to put out the fire. Nobody was even doing songs about fire. You know, so I'm glad to be at that intersection of love and fun and socio-political music.
So one of the things that makes you stand out to us, and I'm sure a lot of other platforms, is your success. I mean, we value all of our collaborators, but of course we notice the ones that we cut nice checks to. So what do you feel like is the key to your independent success, particularly over a span of time?
Oh, wow. For me, I think, you know, as an artist, all artists typically come with some type of angst, you know, and that not just a MC or a musical artist, a painter, you know, even a violinist. Like, you know, we come with some type of angst and some type of you know, blow to the status quo. I mean, most artists are against the grain, especially the ones that stand out, and we express that in different ways. When the balance is to keep the resistance in the art, but be malleable and go with the flow of the business. And so for me, I've always, as much as I could, tried to welcome the changes and roll with the changes and evolve over time. And I think that's a key piece to being successful in anything that you do. I think that you know, it's interesting now, like when I'm going and speaking at a university, and the Q&A used to be like, you know, tell me about your artistic process, and then, you know, as we started to have, you know, economic success, you know, the Q&A would be, you know, well, what is the, you know, questions like the one you just asked me, which I'm totally fine with, about, you know, our success as a brand and as a business. And, you know, business is the art of efficiency. So whenever I've been successful in business, I've been being efficient. And when I haven't been successful, it was an inefficient effort. So I think really building around what it is you're doing in a very thoughtful way, and then being curious. Always being curious, never feeling like, oh, I don't, you know, I already got this, or I know. I'm always curious, and I think that's done well for me and the folks around me.
Mm-hmm. What do you think are the two most significant social issues of our time, as you see it?
Well, I think an important part of your question is of our times as I see it, you know, and I think really one thing that's really great about a global perspective and dialogue is that everyone has things that stand out to them the most, you know. For me, the two biggest social issues of our time, one is the killing of unarmed people in this country, and not only people dying from police brutality, but also the attitude after. You know, I've talked about this where, you know, a young kid gets killed. He didn't have a gun on him, and he wasn't pointing a gun at anyone. It's on videotape, and the conversation is really odd on the news and out in the media. It's oh, well, why did he have that hoodie on? You know, or, you know, why was he over there? Did he graduate from high school? Like, he has to audition for his humanity even after his death, and that's a major issue to me. Also, as I travel this country and where I'm from in Oakland, and where I live now in Los Angeles, gentrification. You know, just this massive takeover of where people live. And when we say live, I mean where you live at. You know, it's not just where you live at, it's where you eat at, it's where you pray at, it's where you rest at. The idea of that just being stripped away from people on a mass level for profit is super egregious to me. You know, that's what I would say.
And what's next, Ise?
This whole year is dedicated for me to this record. You know, Slave or Vote isn't a thing that, you know, comes out at the beginning of the year, and then we're on for 2 weeks, and then we're out of the scene. I'm really looking forward to this year-long campaign we have. Each song on the album is I realized I was writing these little 3-minute, 4-minute, 5-minute movies, in a song. So we're shooting and taping and filming for everything that's on the record, and some really exciting collaborations, and I'm looking forward to a great year and a great record. So go out and get r3volt. I'm thankful for everyone that's already engaging and has the record.
Well, thank you for being here.
Thank you. Peace.
Yeah, I suppose that's a very critical, central message.